Trigger warning.
This is Ben Shapiro, Thug Life.
Trigger warning.
The Thug Life chose me at birth.
Some advice for the media. Guys, if you want people to take you seriously, you have to stop setting your hair on fire and running into plate glass windows before you even know what the hell is going on. I mean, you are jumping on every rake in a 300-mile radius before you even let all the facts out.
Are you working? What kind of work do you do?
I have to clean up a little bit of unfinished business, unfortunately. So I paid off a lot of bets over the last election because I was foolish enough to give odds. Never give odds. It's always a mistake. So I gave a bunch of odds, and I'd actually forgotten that I made a bet with Michael Knowles since I apparently decided to lose money to everyone in the office. I've already given small amounts of money to Jonathan Hay. I've given larger amounts of money to Michael Medved and David Bose. I gave amounts of money to Jeremy Boring, or at least I will, maybe. But Michael, I've been holding out on mainly because it's fun. So I'm actually signing him the check. Come on here, Michael, and congratulations. Here is your check. $400 for Michael Knowles. I gave him 4-to-1 odds for $100, and I'm gonna write here in the data line for ignoring data. And then I'm gonna just hand this over to you. We'll take a picture for the cameras.
This is really incredible.
There we go.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No!
I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac, no perms, you can't see that I'm a motherfucking B.I.M.B. Yeah. Ben Shapiro.
I have a quick question, which is, when in your life did you discover that the Thug Life had chosen you?
So, for those of you who haven't seen, there's this series of videos on YouTube called Ben Shapiro Thug Life that were created by some guy in New York, apparently. I don't know him. And he took all of the clips of me kind of destroying college students at my lectures or destroying Piers Morgan or any of these, and then he basically put in a graphic of sunglasses coming down on my face and put a blunt in my mouth, and then starts playing rap music in the background. I mean, the Thug Life chose me at birth. I knew from the time I was a child. As Lady Gaga might say, I was born this way.
We need someone that's sharp and someone that's strong. We need someone to own feminists all day long. We need someone that's...
Line up in this aisle if you want to ask a question and or be featured in a Thug Life video.
So, you have 3 steps for not being born in America. Graduate high school, don't have babies before you get married and get a job, right?
Permanently born in America.
Right. So...
And those aren't mine, those are the Brookings Institution. Yeah.
What would you advise to a young woman who's not married, who gets raped, but does not have access to an abortion as something that you believe in? No abortions, right?
Yes, I'm pro-life, yeah.
Okay, so then what would you advise that woman?
Okay, so first of all, I do appreciate that you've created the saddest possible scenario for a living human being. Is she also disabled? Let's really go whole hog, and she has breast cancer as well. So it's as long as we're creating imaginary victims. But you know, the answer is that doesn't actually change the calculus, meaning that obviously what happened to this person is an awful, awful, horrible thing, and as I said earlier, the person who raped her should be tracked down, captured, killed, or castrated. So that's number one. As far as the morality of abortion does not change based on need, right? So the fact that she's poor and needs an abortion doesn't change whether she's rich and needs an abortion or poor, because the abortion argument really comes down to, do you think this is a life or not? If you don't think it's a life, you can do whatever you want with it. If you think it's a life, you can't do anything with it. As far as what she does with the baby, that's up to her. You know, if she wants to keep the baby, it's obviously going to be an obvious economic burden. I would think that there are a lot of people out there like me who would give charity in order to try and help out somebody who's obviously in that sort of situation. And there are charities that exist for people like this to try and help out. And if you know of this woman, tell me her name, and I'm happy to give you some money. In terms of abortion, adoption is also another option. If this is a person who can't take her baby, putting me for adoption seems to me a better option for the baby than killing the baby.
Something that caught me as interesting was when you talked about statistics with rape. I just want to share a story. I'm actually LGBTQ, so I was actually expecting this to be much more offensive, and I was like, that was it. So,
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah. My question about your statistics on rape culture, don't you think that maybe a lot of women who experience this don't want to come forward? And if you don't mind me giving an example, you're Jewish, so you know Long Island, New York. There was a case in Long Island, New York, where there was a pediatrician who, no, seriously, there's a,
No, I'm waiting to hear the case. Not everyone in Long Island is Jewish. Don't worry, I don't think you're an anti-Semite.
Thank you. But more importantly, in this town, it came forward that there was a few people that he molested, and then more people came forward, and it came out being dozens and dozens, and there was this whole escapade where people didn't even say anything until other people came forward.
Yes.
So don't you think that maybe people are scared to come forward, and that it's possible that those statistics could be not entirely as accurate?
Okay, so it's possible the statistics are somewhat low, but the idea that they are 244 low out of 250 is wrong, right? So there's a vast difference between 0.6% rape rate and 25% rape rate. So yes, if you're asking are there women, are there men who are raped, who are intimidated about coming forward, of course that's true. And of course we need to make it easier for people to come forward and report rape. I think, by the way, that it's also very important that in cases of rape that we fulfill an evidentiary standard, because when I'm talking about you have to castrate or kill people, they better damn well be guilty, right? So I want to make sure that the people who are convicted are certainly guilty. But that said, I think that one of the grave tragedies is that there's so many people who are raped who don't come forward, and then they talk later about the rapes that they've experienced. The world would be a lot better place if we could encourage those people to come forward. If they did come forward, I want rapists in jail. I don't want them out on the streets. So when people say rape culture, my problem is that it's just too vague. I don't know what that means. Who in the United States is pro-rape? I need to hear who out there really?
Well, I think that
other than Bill Clinton.
I'd like to ask you, who or what is God to you?
Who or what is God to me?
Yes, and what role, if any, does that play?
God's my man.
Hi, Ben. I'm a philosophy major here at UF, and
I'm sorry.
That's your first
well, I appreciate. I would consider myself a conservative Democrat, and I appreciate your view on a lot of normative issues.
You're the last one, so be careful out there.
Yeah, I appreciate your view on a lot of normative issues, but on healthcare I disagree because of the theoretical underpinnings. So I'm gonna address a question about that.
Sure.
I wrote something down. A state is an entity that exists for the protection and flourishing of its citizens. If it didn't protect and promote the flourishing of its citizens, it would be useless. As a society, the people that make up a state, we have certain obligations to our fellow man and women, not just negative responsibilities like do not kill, but also positive ones to promote the welfare and human rights of our fellow man. My basic question is why you don't view healthcare as one of those inalienable rights that's necessary for citizens to thrive, such as defense, the police force, or firefighters. After all, health is necessary for our very existence. It is no less necessary for us to be citizens than the loss of life from foreign invaders or a robber.
So I understand the question.
This is by the way, this is a moral argument, not a practical argument.
Right. No, I've got you. And it's a good question. I mean, so two things. One, you and I have a different view of rights. I don't believe that there is such a thing as a quote-unquote positive right. I believe that you have inalienable rights from government and from other human beings. And what I mean by that is to be free of other human beings. So I have a right not to be murdered by you, but I don't have a right to take your money in order to feed myself. Okay, that's the difference in a positive right and negative. So
That's called the profit over people. Like, I'm a utilitarian, so I believe in maximizing human flourishing.
Okay, so there's a lot of problems with utilitarianism as a political theory, as opposed to sort of a rights-based Lockean political theory. One of the big problems with utilitarianism is you actually have to define your terms.
Well, Mill was a utilitarian.
I know, and I agree with Mill's basic concept of that the government should only regulate externalities, which is sort of a Mill perspective, but which you don't, because actually regulating healthcare is not regulating externalities, it's regulating somebody's own care for themselves.
Gotcha,
but the problem with utilitarianism as a theory is that if it benefits the collective, you can crush the rights of the individual. Utilitarianism, including the vision of individual rights, is one thing, but utilitarianism without that view, which is what you're talking about, you end up inevitably with the collective destroying the individual. So, the difference I would pose between firefighting and police is that the police are there. It's the job of the state to protect you from other people. That is the job of the state, or national defense, right? That's the job of the state to do that. I don't think that it's the state's job to provide, to make you flourish. It is your job to make you flourish in the absence of curbing other people's rights. That's where we have a fundamental disagreement, and that's also why. Here's a quick explanation of healthcare, and I can do this in, I promise, like a minute and a half. You ready? So Dan McLaughlin of National Review put this the best way. There are three things you can have about healthcare. You can have universality, affordability, or quality. You can only have two of those three. There's no system that provides all three. And there's certainly no system so if you want universality and affordability, it's going to be crappy quality. That's nationalized healthcare. If you want universality and quality, then you have to bankrupt the country. It's an inordinate amount of money on your healthcare system. And if you want what I want, which is affordability and quality, then you have open competition, but it means that some people are going to have to rely on a community of people around them, but not through government. And this is the great gap, I think, is that it used to be, Tocqueville talks about this, that we all used to be members of communities, religious, social groups, and we all used to take care of each other outside of government. As government grew, we withdrew. And so as Robert Putnam says, the sociologist in Bowling Alone, we've all become sort of these people who live in our houses and we don't talk to our neighbors. If we have a problem, we go to the government. Instead of going, like, if I have a problem, I go first to my family, and then beyond that, I go to my synagogue. And that used to be the model. And that should be the model.
But we're signing a social contract, so we are responsible for taxes.
I know. We're responsible for taxes that pay for things of which we have an equal share of withdrawal and to protect us from, they call it a non-excludable, non-competitive good. You have the ability to pay taxes, but you get back out of it. Having me pay taxes for your failure to buy health insurance is you stealing from me, and having you tell my wife, who's a doctor, that she must care for you no matter what price you choose to pay her is involuntary service.
You.
Absolutely.
No!
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I won't be having lunch today, but well, it was nice.
It was good to see you, Michael.
I'll have to thanks for having me.
Here's the actual check.
Oh,
here's the actual check. And
no, wait, but
go. Just go.
Oh, that's
good.
So
Good to see you. Good to see you, Michael. Always a pleasure. Always we have to get out of here.
None of what you hear, but only half of your visions. Nothing's what it seems. It brings us back to that prison.
It exists, but the problem that I'm seeing, and this is the problem with the general conversation, is that there's no solution in simply saying there's racism out there. How does that solve anything?